Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Ai ngā mātua, e ngā karanga maha, ne ngā hoa tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Mr. Speaker, it's high time this coordinate note was introduced to this debate, because we've been through the introduction, first reading, committee stages, and a full examination, and some people's reputations have been maligned and impugned, and I'm here today to defend them. Because I recall when Ngāti Wai was under attack back in the 70s from both the Crown and the Whangarei County Council, and I want to know where some of these critics were back then when we needed help, when we turned things around. You see, it is said that this bill is a breach of the Treaty of Waitangi, and that certain so-called claims are more meritorious than those who have been around for a long time defending these issues. This is what these claimants took to the Waitangi Tribunal, you recall, and they said that Ngāti Wai, if they dealt with the Crown that way, would be involved in significant irreversible prejudice. That Ngāti Wai were not consulted. That the chairperson of the Ngāti Wai Trust Board and also Ngāti Manuhiri, negotiator and trustee of the Moko Trust, was the same. The chairperson of the Moko Trust and Ngāti Manuhiri negotiator was a marae representative on the Ngāti Wai Trust Board, and moved the motion for the board to support the Ngāti Manuhiri settlement, and the legal advisor to Ngāti Wai Trust Board was the same advisor to the Moko Trust and the Ngāti Manuhiri negotiations. And those claims have been maintained on marae, at the Select Committee and on, regardless of the fact that the Waitangi Tribunal found no merit in them. That's right. At all. Correct. Here's the fact of the matter. The facts of the matter are that the Ngāti Wai Trust Board endorsed Manuhiri proceedings with their settlement as part of the Tamaki Makaurau settlement of the Auckland Isthmus. That's number one. And there is no integrity coming before this House with ignorance supporting certain groups whose reputations I remember. For example, looking at my people there, let me ask you this. Hore Parata. How much land does Hore Parata keep at Pātaua? Not 1 inch. But I have people telling the Green Party something else, and they fall for it. And it's a slight on Ngāti Wai from the south to the north. Here are the facts. The resolution referred to in 1, that's the resolution that I'm talking about, a resolution which says this, that the Ngāti Wai Trust Board does not support any settlement which extinguishes any iwi rights, interests or redress to the islands within the Ngāti Wai Rohe. That was the resolution, and it still stands. So why would the Greens come here today, as they have in the past, and put all manner of people with no understanding at all of Ngāti Wai or our history up there as though they know more than the people who have slaved away for decades to see this right? I don't come here with any joy, but I'm not going to stand by while people get defamed and maligned. The settlement deed specifically states that settlement with Manuhiri does not impinge upon any claims the Ngāti Wai Trust Board has. The Minister has said that, so has the Waitangi Tribunal, but no, down to the House and spread malice aforethought, to use a legal term. Now, we know about the land that is in exclusive control of Ngāti Manuhiri. It's 1.2 hectares. But with respect to the conflict of interest, I suggest the Green Party considers the minute from the Waitangi Tribunal, who were asked to consider the conflict of interest issue, and they went on to say this. This is their key finding from the Waitangi Tribunal. Taken in conjunction with the Minister's assurances that the door is open for further redress to be negotiated with Ngāti Wai, I have come to the clear view. This is Judge Milroy on behalf of the Waitangi Tribunal. I have come to the clear view that there is no significant and irreversible prejudice to the applicants. Ngāti Wai are recognised to some degree in the deed. Redress that recognises shared mana whenua is still available to the applicants. Now, those are the facts. Want me to read it again? No, but this is to do with the law, not prejudice and bias, or picking up the view of a few troublemakers who came before me and told me we represent Ngāti Wai. Well, that was a big surprise to me because I've been around a long time, since we started the Ngāti Land Retention Committee to take on the Crown and the Whangarei County Council, and went 6 years and years in court case after court case, and finally almost won the whole lot. I remember some of them, though, those ones, they didn't pay me. I'm still waiting for my legal fees. And to have people come to this house and defame my family, all Lally Haddon and people of that standing, well, those are things up with which we in New Zealand First will not put.
Don't hold your breath for an apology.
Well, I'm asking for an apology. My brother has always been the solicitor for a long time for the Trust Board, and the Board was well aware of his involvement with Manuhiri and his assisting of them with their negotiations, although in effect his role was primarily involved in advising on structures around receiving the settlement assets as opposed to deciding what the form of settlement should be. However, I don't suppose the Greens want to have a story spoiled by facts, but an apology is deserved here. And the second thing is, just because people have served their area studiously and with barely any compensation, go and look at Ngāti Trust Board's record of remuneration to the people who have worked for them. It is a standout model of putting the iwi before self. Look at the record. And we will not stand by while somebody who doesn't understand, or a political party who should know better, doesn't know, comes down here and defames and maligns us. Because whatever our record is in Ngāti, to use that old quote, and I suppose it goes for my party as well, as against that of some parties. Not like the seagull tossing and turning its head at every wave, but like the rock, steadfast against the surging sea. Thank you.
Louise Upston.
Tēnā koe i te mana whakawā, tēnā koe te